Hello, I'm Jeff Patterson. Today we're going to look at the Ssu Chin or silk rilling cocoon exercises. And I'm going to break this up into 3 parts. So there's going to be 3 different videos. The first video is going to cover the first 8 movements in the series. And there's 25 movements in this form. I'm going to break it up so we can spend a little bit more detail, go over them a little slowly. So it'll be a few different segments of that. Ssu translate into silk rilling cocoon. The silk rilling or the silk is the way that the energy moves through the body from one place to the other. The cocoon is the way that your waist turns on its axis. And so we're learning how to combine that energy movement through the body with the combination of the turning of the waist using the floor to guide the movement. So through all these movements, you'll see different things. There's 8 principles that we try to focus on with these movements. The first one is being empty and full. And what I mean by being empty and full is almost like if you have a rubber band. You could stretch the rubber band out really strong, or you could let it collapse. We don't want to let it collapse. We don't want to let it get too tight. We want to be in the middle where there is that soft expansion and contraction. And then there's the open and close. And the open and close is similar to the empty and full, but you're using the different bows in the body. So we have our legs, each leg is a bow, we have our spine bow, and we have our chest bow. And so within those bows in the body, we're constantly going to be opening and closing them and using that expansion and contraction. The next principle is up and down. Everything in the movement has the rising and lowering, not only with the legs coming up and down, but also with the spine stretching out and lowering. It's almost like you're sitting down with the tailbone and you're standing up with the crown of the head. And then lastly, the circle and the spiral. So there's a lot of this kind of movement in the sequence as well. And so keep in mind those 8 different principles as we run through this. We're going to go through, since we're only doing the first 8 postures, we're going to go through a little bit slowly and focus on each movement. So we start with the commencement or the opening. And with this one, we'll start with the feet hip-width distance apart, knees slightly bent, outsides of the feet are parallel. And we're just going to do 3 times on this one. So inhale. Exhale, palms come in towards the temples as you sit down, elbows come in. Inhale up. And exhale, settle. Now, as we go through the form, you'll notice that between each one of the movements, we traditionally will do this commencement or this close set to finish off each movement. When we practice this form, we want to try to keep that smooth, even flow of the breath from the beginning of the form till the end of the form. So you're linking it through every movement and every closing set. So the first movement, after the commencement, bring the hands up into the hips. Inhale here. Exhale, turning to your left, twisting your spine from your tailbone to your crown, looking over your left shoulder. And then use the breath, inhale, to pull you back to center. And exhale to the other side. So not only are you following the breath, but remember that expansion and contraction. So you use the breath to pull you back to center, but on the exhale as you're twisting, you're softly stretching out that rubber band, and then inhale, let it contract back to center. Finish that movement. The next movement is more of a spiral. So you're going to softly circle, leading from the hips. Exhaling as you come forward. When you're doing this, it's not about how big you can make the circle. So we're not trying to do this. It's a very subtle movement that follows the breath, and we're just trying to open up each vertebrae along the spine. So you're feeling the expansion and contraction and the rolling of the spine. Everything is following the breath. And we change direction. And back to neutral. Next position, turn the right foot out 45, step forward with the left foot. Right hand in the hip. Inhale, open, Roll. Turn the waist, come up from the floor. Exhale. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, down and forward. Change direction. Inhale back and up. Exhale forward and down. Change sides. Remember, through every millimeter of the movement, you want to feel the connection from the floor all the way up through the legs, the torso, and into the arms. Change direction. Next position from horse stance. Inhale up and back. Using the spine and the chest bow. Also the leg bows standing up and sitting down. Change direction. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Next exercise, turn the right foot out 45, step forward with the left foot in a little bit of a longer bow stance. Exhale as you come forward, and we're going to make this hand position where you take the thumb and the pointer finger and touch together. The other three fingers press against the palm, just firm enough to where if you have a little small cup of tea, enough to where you wouldn't drop it, but not too much where you're holding it too tight. So you softly press the fingers in, exhale forward, keeping the spine straight when you come forward. So we don't want to come forward like with the rounded spine. We're going to come forward, keeping the spine straight with the arms back this way. And then come up, arch the back, look up at the ceiling, roll the shoulder blades, palms circle up and back on the inhale. And then exhale, forward again with a straight spine. When you come forward, you're pushing off that back heel, keeping that leg straight. After the last one, come back to center, lower the hands, and we're going to shake it out 3 times. And then change the position. Other side. And again, after the last one, lower the hands. Next position. Right foot out, 45, step forward with the left foot. Inhale, open, turn the waist. Exhale, close. Pushing up through the floor. It's almost like you have a powerful hose and you turn on the water and the hose goes like this because the water's so powerful. Visualize turning the power on in that right heel. The water rushes up through the leg, through the torso, twisting the torso out, and then out through the left fingertips. And switch sides. The next movement has two parts to it. So we're going to do the left side, the right side, and then also from a square stance or horse stance. So the first movement, step forward with the left foot, right foot 45. Inhale, exhale. Remember, you're using the feet to feel the connection in the fingertips. All the way through the body, there is a connection of power, but without tension. It's elastic, spiraling, twisting power. Other side. Now we go into the square stance. So you're doing basically the same thing with the arms, but you're shifting the weight from left to right and turning the waist, pushing from the floor. That was the first few movements in this series. Stay tuned for the next section in the forum, and then the following. There'll be 3 parts to this video series. Also, we only did 6 repetitions on each one. I find that if you do at least 6 times, it's enough to get to where you can feel and get a little deeper into the movement. If you want to do more, great. I would try to do at least that. If you're limited on time, you can break the form up, just like we're doing in this video series, and just do it in thirds. You don't need to run through the whole set. It does take quite a while to get through the entire set. But stay tuned for the next one. Also, if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe to the channel below. And we have a Tai Chi-Qigong online college. Check out the link below, where we go into more in-depth study of some of the stuff that you're learning, as well as give you a guided approach to how to build a practice and individualize it to fit your lifestyle and kind of accomplish some of the things that you're trying to do. So check that out if you're interested. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.